Welcome to Beard Oil Roulette.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 26 of Beard Oil Roulette. Mick, for your information, I was on time tonight. Thank you guys all again for joining. I got a special guest here tonight, Steve Reis from the Does It Doom show on YouTube. He'll be coming in a second. I got everything set up here, so if I missed you on the name wheel, just hold off and I'll get you after we enter the sense. But I'm gonna bring in Steve now, and then you guys can start typing in your sense there while he gives a little introduction. All right. Hey Steve, how's it going?
What's up, Tyler? How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. Do you want to give a quick introduction to you about kind of what you do and yourself, and I'm going to start writing their scent choices up on the wheel.
Absolutely. So my name is Steve Reis, and I run the Does It Doom YouTube channel. And on that channel, we do guitar lessons focused on doom, stoner, sludge, and drone metal. And I really focus on teaching through the process of learning songs, so helping people learn guitar, tone, technique, theory, and a bit about gear. Besides the YouTube channel, we also do a bunch of products. We've got a pedal line and a pedal board line, all kind of tailored to the stoner doom community.
Awesome. So how did you get into? Let's start at the beginning. Guitar. What got you into guitar initially?
I started playing probably when I was about 15. Really, initially, I was big into Nirvana. It was mid '90s. And I just wanted to learn how to play Nirvana songs, basically, is what I remember for the most part. And I play probably, like I said, 15 or 16, and picked up a guitar, took some lessons for about 6 months or so, and then probably quit. I remember being frustrated, kind of the guitar teacher trying to teach me acoustic guitar and teach me a bunch of theory and stuff I didn't really care to learn or understand. Again, I just wanted to learn Nirvana songs, and that's really not what I was learning. So I ended up quitting and probably didn't pick up the guitar again for a couple years. And then in high school, a bunch of myself and my best friends were just way into kind of, the Misfits and Danzig and Sam Hain and stuff like that. In Windsor, I grew up in Windsor, Ontario, actually, where I grew up. That stuff was just big in those days, at least for us, kind of the punk kids wanted to start a band. So had some friends one friend who played drums and I played guitar, or at least I knew I could figure out, how to play 138 and from what I had learned in the, a couple years prior. So picked up the guitar again and started playing and just kind of learning songs and writing our own songs and playing a bunch of covers and just kind of learning songs, and had a way more fun time with it. And I guess that's what, eventually through the years got more into Black Sabbath and then which led to a lot of the doom stuff and everything that would follow. But as I led myself to, I guess, starting up this channel focused on doom metal, I always have that in the back of my mind, that it was always much more fun for me to kind of learn through learning songs and learn techniques that way. And so that's kind of how the approach I take when trying to teach people this style of music.
Awesome. So, for the Doom stuff, how did you get into Doom specifically? Because obviously you go from punk rock was just super fast. I'm assuming at some point you probably got thrash in there too. And then what did you what drew you to Doom metal?
So my gateway was essentially Down. When the second Down record came out, I remember somehow getting really into that band. And yeah, I had the Slayer thing, and really I was never, I shouldn't say never, but that was never quite my thing. like really, really my thing. Like everybody listens to that stuff at some point if you're into metal. But I remember when Down 2 came out, that second record, ending up getting really into it. And, like Jimmy Bower from I Hate God in that band, and Kirk from Crowbar, Pepper from COC, and obviously Phil with Pantera and Superjoint and everything at the time. That led me really into I Hate God big time, which was kind of the sludge scene. And all of those guys, I just think back to it, and like Phil and Pepper during that era were doing a lot of interviews, and in interviews they would always talk about Saint Vitus and Pentagram and Witchfinder General. Like I can remember Phil in the like magazine articles and stuff wearing Pentagram shirts, and Jimmy always wearing Saint Vitus shirts and stuff. And so through that, I can remember my buddies and I just like, that was like the stonerrock.com days, and there wasn't that much info out there about it to like learn about this doom metal, but we kind of caught on to this genre and started listening to Saint Vitus and started listening to Pentagram a bunch, and Witchfinder General, and even Witchcraft came out around that time, which was one of the first bands I can remember in the early 2000s to try and do the doom thing. And so it was just through all of that got me really deep into the genre, and those are all the bands that I ended up gravitating to over time, and just gravitating to, I guess, even slower, doomier, kind of more dissonant sounding riffs and songs and whatnot. And then over time, obviously, the genre itself has evolved. Like what we would have considered, what you consider doom now, like didn't even exist, right? To a point. And then because then there was, through that we got into Sleep and Electric Wizard, and now obviously there's a ton of bands that have been influenced by Sleep, High on Fire, Electric Wizard, and Sun, and all the bands that were kind of the second wave. And now you've got bands like Monolord and Conan and stuff like that have kind of continued to evolve the sound and taking it to a more, obviously even the imagery has sort of changed, right? It's like kind of almost less evil and more about like amps and volume, and it's just changed through the years,
Yeah, totally. I've definitely noticed that too, even in the last like 5-7 years. Like it has changed. It's not as like a lot of album covers and stuff were like very like dark black, like, and it seems to be changing a little bit over time, for sure.
Yeah, and they still there are those elements still, and it depends what band you're talking about, but I think and obviously the imagery has just changed. Way back I felt like it was way more about like Baphomets and pentagrams, and you know what I mean, kind of like playing the satanic thing, or then over time it's like transition to weed metal, and like
right,
kind of changed a bit in terms of the imagery and the sound too.
So Mick, socially bearded here, wants to weigh in on bagged milk conversation. I told you before it would probably come up.
So I haven't been back to Canada in like a while now. Obviously, I live in North Carolina, but I grew up drinking plenty of bagged milk. Very familiar with bagged white milk and bagged chocolate milk.
That's right.
You definitely don't see it down in these parts.
So you got that, Mick.
And you got the little tool to open it. Like you got the little blade to open the bags. I mean, it comes in bags of 3.
Yeah. I know. I would try. We've had actually a couple people bring milk as guests onto the show just to prove that this is a real thing. Yes, bagged chocolate milk. Yes, it's a real thing.
Right? Is it? Am I remembering that right? I think.
It's a real thing. Yeah, for sure.
Straight out of the like bag holder thing, like bagged chocolate milk.
Definitely, as a kid, that happened. All right. So, for you, what scent do you want to add to the wheel? There, I'll make it big so you can see it. There you go.
There we go.
On the left-hand side there. Whatever scent you want.
Yeah, I want to add bourbon wood.
Oh, yeah, good choice. All right. Perfect. Yeah, that's right, Kyle. Actually, while we're on this topic, I'm just gonna bring it up now because so Kyle here joined the stream a couple weeks ago, and he was very shocked by the whole bagged milk thing, which he started doing a series on TikTok about bagged milk. So we're gonna play just one of those clips right now. I think this was from this week.
On this episode of Learning About Bagged Milk is slowly turning me Canadian. I'm gonna go cut some wood, eh? Can't forget a sip.
Kyle, oh man, every one they keep getting better and better. Oh, I missed Anna Marie's scent. Okay, so you want amber? Yep, no problem. All right, so we're gonna spin. We're gonna spin to add some scents. So, what do you want them to add? Like, how many scents do you want them to add or take away?
Let's add 3 and take away 1.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys, here we go. Kyle, they're loving you out there.
What's Kyle's TikTok handle?
Oh man, I should know this because I like Glorious Beard. I think that I'm not sure if there's a.
Can I go try and find him?
Yeah, you should add him up for sure.
Let me see.
All right. Yes, for sure, Mick. I will refrain from missing Anna Marie's scent.
That's definitely him. I got him.
Awesome. All right, Oz. So you're adding. You said 3, take away 1, right?
Yeah, 3 take away 1.
See what he's gonna do. Oz is a big fan of the bacon scent, so I don't know if he's gonna try and add that 3 times or not, but it always gets taken off on him like every week.
You guys are talking the scents I'm getting. This is one of my favorites.
Is that the Mystic Rings?
Mystic Rings, yes.
Yeah.
It's good. Was this a limited run, or are you gonna keep making it?
No, that one's permanent. It was a limited run, and then I was like, no, I have to keep this because everyone kept asking me for it.
Good. It just smells so good.
It is good. I like that one. All right, so Oz wants to do amber, mystery scent, and bacon. So mystery's kind of cool. That's like I get to pick the scent. So that's always fun for me. So how long have you had your channel for now?
So the channel kind of started in 2015.
Okay.
But that's my first upload.
Right.
No direction, just like, hey, I'm going to upload a video. And it's just a random video of me playing. I think I do talk. I think I'm demoing something or demoing an amp or something, playing a guitar that I wish I hadn't sold. But, I would just upload videos here and there randomly. Like I wasn't paying attention to anything, probably barely making a description, just uploading once every month or once every 2 months or whatever, not much focus. And then sometime, I guess we're coming up 3 years in August, I decided to create an Instagram account. And again, there still wasn't much focus. It was just going to be guitar based. And I didn't know exactly what I was going to do. I think I called it Player Grade Guitars was the name of things at the time. And I think the channel even itself has gone through 3 names or something before settling in. But I started it that August, and I guess 2018. And kind of just was posting pictures and some Doom stuff and some not Doom stuff and just posting pictures of gear and whatnot. And I just had in the back of my head, hey, Mike, the Fuzz Coven, sorry, I'm going to answer him. The Fuzz Coven, we're building a batch right now, and that is our Silicon Fuzz, and that's going to be back in stock. I think May 7th is the target release date for that. But we got them.
That's only
They're
2
coming
weeks.
together 2 weeks from now, and they'll definitely be back in stock. So that's when they're going to be back. But eventually I thought like, okay, this is, if I'm gonna do something with this, I gotta provide some value somehow, right? So I decided that I was going to I was super nervous about it. I'd never really taught guitar before or anything, but I'd spent a lot of time learning guitar and watching videos and watching instructional videos, over the years. And so I just thought I would try my hand at teaching some sleep songs, and it just went really well. Like, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if people would be like, fuck this guy, or, why are you wasting my time? I just didn't know what the response would be. And the response was incredible. Like, people were just like, dude, please keep going. Please keep doing this. And, still at the time, production was terrible. I had like a little orange battery powered micro crush. And like, I was just trying to make a lesson, and people really loved it and kept asking like, do more. And so I kept trying to the next week I would try to do it again. And the next week try and do it again. And people were asking for, try some High on Fire, Electric Wizard. And so I just kept teaching, and it just kept growing. It kind of blew up a lot faster than I expected. And I guess, I realized though, like it clued in that, okay, there's like the doom metal thing has become big. Like when I was in 2002 listening to this shit, like it seemed like nobody knew who it was, like knew what it was. Like it seemed like the genre was barely existed, but that's just because there was no real, like the internet hadn't become what it is now, right? Like you had some websites and message boards and things, but the social aspect, the social media to really connect the world hadn't happened yet. And so now over the next like 15 years, obviously that happened, and Facebook exploded, and all of the social media exploded that kind of connected everything. And all of a sudden you had these huge groups of people who were connected and listening to this genre of music that I felt had been, in terms of like presented and taught in a meaningful way, had been kind of never done. So I decided that I would just try to step up and be that guy, and people seemed to like it. So I just kept going and going and going, and just here we are. I guess along the ways, people started asking me to demo pedals and stuff, and so I started buying up pedals and demoing them. And then before I knew it, manufacturers were just wanting to send me stuff to demo, and then eventually I just decided like we're gonna do our own pedals, and so that's where we are today. We make pedal boards, we make pedals, and that's the journey, in a nutshell. Just continuing to put out as much content as I can and be as consistent as I can. Name one album. I'm assuming you're not talking like Black Sabbath, right? Because usually I would tell people to like go listen to Volume 4. I think something like Dope Throne by Electric Wizard is a good album all around, to really give you the overall kind of blend of modern doom and traditional doom, because it's still got some very bluesy aspects, and it's slow, and it's still got the like evil satanic elements with like the weed elements, and kind of blends the stoner doom. And I just feel like arrow wise, that album has influenced a ton of bands, and yet still feels very modern, but even though it was recorded so many years ago. So I would say Dope Throne by Electric Wizard is a good
that's probably a good choice for sure. Oh yeah, Tanny was saying Caius. I
don't feel like Caius is really doom though. Like Caius is more stoner rock to me.
Gotcha. Yeah, there is a blurry line there between that, right?
Yeah. I mean, stoner rock, I feel like it's faster, is more groove and rock feeling, is less dissonant, and has more of an upbeat rock feel to it, more pentatonic, like and like I said, more rhythmic and faster, and whereas doom can be more plodding and dissonant, and just generally more evil sounding and slower. That's my perception of it anyway.
I think that's pretty accurate too. I think like it depends on like where you grow up too, right? Because like I find every like area kind of has their own thoughts on what band is what in whatever genre you want to put it in or whatever, right? So
but they all get lumped together with that Sabbath influence, right? Like the sure. Sabbath influence is kind of the umbrella that holds it all together. I I think like that kind of captures it all. And then you've got like the subgenres, kind of, I guess, spider webbing out.
A lot of like subgenres in
I
metal.
mean, there's some I don't even know and don't even listen to, right? Like, and there's some of the subgenres of Doom that I'm just not all that familiar with.
For sure. All right, before I get into more talking, let's spin another one. What do you want to add and remove this time?
Let's add 5, take away 3.
Oh, all right. I like that.
A big one.
So we're adding 5 and taking away 3. All right, here it goes. So the evolution for like pedals and building your own pedals, like what was the inspiration there?
So the pedal boards themselves came first.
Oz again.
Nice. Basically, I wanted to. I feel like I need to discuss the pedal boards first, just because that's how it happened. Basically, one of my really good friends, like I'm a mechanical engineer, and he's also an engineer, and I've been one of my best friends for like 20 years. And I was just like having this idea that I wanted to make these Tolex pedal boards, something that was a bit different from what I thought was on the market, something that kind of took the Doom aesthetic, and we could do it in purple Tolex or like green Mad Amp Tolex or whatever, kind of take that aesthetic along with looking at like the cab companies like Emperor, and we could do like stained slats and things like that. And so I called him up and said, hey man, this is what I want to do. Do you think you can do it? He does a lot of woodworking and things like that. And he was like, fuck yeah, man, let's give it a try. And so I still have the first prototype back there, but we kind of went up to his house and whittled some shit out and got some Tolex and put it all together. And I mean, the first one off the line looks pretty good. Like he had never done Tolex work before or anything like that, but we just kind of called up Mojo Tone in Burgaw, North Carolina, really close to us, and we're able to get tons of like all the parts we kind of needed from them and built our first board. And then it was like, okay, well, let's build more. And so he was just the one-man show, kind of building that stuff up there in his garage at night, kind of cutting, kind of going through the process of building the boxes and then wrapping everything. And he probably built and sold maybe 80 out of his garage, just all made by hand by him. And then we approached Mojo Tone about like they build cabs and everything, right? They build amps and cabs and everything and have all the supplies. They were already our main supplier. And so they ended up taking over the manufacturing for us. And so now Mojo Tone builds the boards to our original specs, and actually have made some improvements and just like doing finger joint corners and just making a super, super nice product. And so we're really kind of fortunate to work with those guys, and it's cool that they're close. Like I've been to the factory a bunch of times to check things out and just hang out with those guys. And so that kind of came first. And then it was like, well, I was just, the Life pedal had come out and there was all the hype about it. And obviously there's all this continued hype about the Boss FC2 Hyper Fuzz, which is again stemming from kind of Electric Wizard and that Dope Throne tone. And then the Life Metal and Life Pedal, all of them having this idea of this analog octave up built into the pedal. And so I just decided like I'd never on the market, at least just a single pedal that all it did was that octave up effect with a clean blend. And I started to just want to have that for myself. And I noticed it didn't really exist. And then I just got the idea, well, like, I'm sure we could figure out how to do it. And so we got another engineer, an electrical engineer friend involved, and the three of us kind of did that circuit and ended up building a bunch of them and getting hooked up with an awesome artist who does pedal art, and ended up just deciding like through that process that like, hey, if we're going to do one, let's do two. And then, let's do three. And ended up kind of doing a boost of Fuzz, or I guess the octave, the boost, and then the hyper coven or the fuzz coven fuzz. So we've got the hyper coven, which is our octave up. We've got the Doomcaster, which is our MOSFET clean boost, and then we've got the fuzz coven, which is our one knob silicon fuzz. And that was the first three of like we call them the unholy trinity of the Does It Doom pedal line. And hopefully, I mean, we're hard at work expanding the line and coming out with new products and just ramping up production. And we just relaunched. The original launch was in November, December, and then a about, I guess, 4 weeks ago, we relaunched the Hyper Coven with the second batch. And then 2 weeks ago, we launched the Doomcaster again. And then finally here in 2 weeks, we're going to have the Fuzz Coven come back. So it's been super exciting. I guess I can, as I'm rambling on.
No, that's cool, man.
This is one of
that off.
This is one of our Doom boards that were built by Phil in his garage. So it's got like our original kind of logo plate on there. And yeah, you can see, like I said, all.
So that's like all wood stained under there, right?
Yeah. So this is all stained in a Jacobian stain, and then we do a poly finish over top to protect everything. And then I've just got Velcro down to hold the pedals down. And then obviously we hand wrap all of this in Tolex and do the piping grooves and put some good solid corners on it. So it's actually pretty lightweight. They only weigh about 7 pounds when unloaded, but like I said, super durable and super tough and kind of ready to go. And you know, people seem to be pleased with them. We have lots of people who've bought more than one, and we're just excited to keep them going. And then you can see down here are the 3 pedals. This is our Hyper Coven over here, the Octave pedal, and then the Fuzz Coven, the Fuzz pedal that's coming back out in a few weeks, and the Doomcaster over here. So yeah, that is the product line right now. Actually, before we jumped on tonight, I was testing one of our new circuits that's hopefully going to be coming out later this year that we've been developing since probably January. And it's almost done, and it's just super, super badass. So I can't wait to show that thing off.
Do you want to reveal like the realm that it's in, or do you want to keep it a secret?
Full secret.
Yeah, I would too. No worries.
I've been on a few interviews and stuff over the past month or so, and I keep just saying like we're gonna hold off.
Yeah, for sure. I would do the same thing. That's super cool though.
And even before that one comes out, we've got another new one coming out. So it's like we've got, I would say we'll release at least 3 new pedals this year. I would say maybe even more. So we've got a bunch. It's just kind of fitting them in and kind of getting them production ready and knowing when to like slot them in and build a big batch and release them. Like we're still trying to meet demand from the first 3 circuits, and so we want to make sure everybody kind of gets their hands on the first 3 for those who missed out. Absolutely agreed.
Man, that's super cool. It's awesome, like the evolution of from starting like that channel to like producing pedal boards and pedals. Like that's super cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's really not what I had in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like it just sort of feels like a natural progression as time has gone on. But I can tell you when I first uploaded that video in 2015, that wasn't really what I had in mind. You know, I didn't have anything in mind.
Right. I think that's how these things start though. Right. And then it grows and it becomes something totally different. But like, as long as you're enjoying doing it, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, there's nothing I'd rather do.
So outside of Doom bands, what other music do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of blues, like Chicago blues, 60s stuff. Cool. Like I'm talking like B.B. King, Freddie King, Peter Green. I love. I like slow blues, like minor blues, kind of the darker side. That's what, you know, and guys like BB and Peter played a lot like that. And then I like classic rock too. I mean, I love Thin Lizzy, and I like Judas Priest and things like that. You know, I still listen to that stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I listen. I listen to a lot of the Doom stuff for sure, but I still listen to a ton of blues for sure, and also like I like Cream. I like a lot of that stuff. Like there's a lot of metal that I actually just don't like. Like I don't know, or don't listen to a lot anymore. You know.
Well, yeah, especially like when you're making your videos, like what does the process for that look like? Like how long till like say you get I want to teach this song. How long is that process for you for like learning it and then filming it and then uploading it? Like, how long will that take you?
Depending on the song, 1 to 2 weeks from like the time I decide that I'm going to start learning it, to the time I'm going to teach it. And to learn the songs, I'm super meticulous about making sure it's in the right tuning, it's played in all the right positions. Like, I'm obsessive over it to probably to a fault. Like, I'm studying live footage. I'm finding as much live concert footage as I can, and kind of making sure I'm playing it as accurate to how the artist plays it as possible. And so I'll spend just an inordinate amount of time, like watching videos, listening to the recording over and over, like trying to nail the subtleties, and then trying to understand, like, songs evolve when an artist has been playing them for a long time live. And so there's like little subtle variations they'll be doing. And sometimes I try to capture that and show that off to people, like they've added this in or changed this part, or maybe he played this part different. Like Pike will play parts at different spots on the neck sometimes, just depending on the era or whatever in Sleep. And so it usually takes me a good 5 to 8 days, just depending on what the song is, to kind of get it ready to teach. And then I'll basically hunker down one night after, like in the evening, starting around 8, after my kids are in bed, and I just start recording. And usually recording takes an hour, and then I've got 3 or 4 hours of editing. And then I'll usually go to bed at like 2 a.m. that night and export it and go to bed. And then the next day I wake up and whatever throughout the day, try and make a thumbnail and get it up. I've got a Patreon membership, and I'll try and get it up there several days early for everybody to have access to and just kind of check out. And then we'll roll it usually on a Sunday. So usually recording starts around Wednesday night. Like if I'm having a good week, I'm recording on Wednesday night, and then kind of things can take time. Like I can record and then wait and then maybe edit the next night and then do but usually it ends up like this week where I haven't done shit yet, and I got to hook it all up tomorrow, and Friday night just like record, edit, post, do the whole thing. So it's like, if I need to, I could basically do it. I don't know. The whole process is long though, 8 to 10 hours probably, to just to learn and record and release, and then promote. I promote like crazy to try and make sure, if I'm going to spend all that time putting in the effort to do it, I'm going to at least spend about the same amount of time trying to push it into every channel I can imagine where it would be relevant. So just promote.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Tanya, editing is the prison work. Yeah. For sure.
Is. For me, sometimes the recording feels like the prison work. Like, it's stressful trying to get the riffs right and not fuck it up, and like get the performance right, and like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Like, and you're trying to teach it, so you also, not only do you have to play it at the regular speed, but you may need to slow it down so that people can figure it out, depending on what the lick is, right?
I do all the time, right? So it's like I'll like have a performance section at the start for people like me. If I'm learning a song, I don't really want to listen to someone talk about it. I just want to like learn it, And so I do that, a full performance for people who just want to watch and pick out the parts and do it themselves. And then I do the 10-minute talk through every lick and every riff and talk a bit of theory and show the lick at slow speed, at full speed, and kind of work through it and just trying to get all that right. And you'll like try and do it, and then you're just like, fuck, and then redo the part and trying to explain it properly, and then I finish and I go get a beer and then I start editing. And it's like the stress. My stress actually just drops. Like once I'm like, okay, recording's done, I can just edit and like spend the next few hours into the morning just editing.
Man, that's a lot. So how many cameras are you using when you're filming it? Or do you have like 2 or 3?
No, I've like streamlined it. So this webcam I'm using right now is all I use. It's a Logitech Brio. Like for me, because of all my other commitments in life, I just have to have the process be fast. And so I tried to, over time, like I can do multi-camera if I need to, for demos and stuff like that, where it's kind of needed. But honestly, I like kind of stray away from it because I just don't need the added complication, So I just have this cam and I set it up, and all my lights are kind of all here, It's just like none of it moves ever. Like the mic is here, it swings out of the way. The lights are, there, and I turn them on with my computer, and we're just like ready to go. So I want it all to be streamlined and fast. So I'm not setting up cameras and setting up lights. And I did that for a long time in the beginning. I'd get out the tripod, get out the stands, and get out the soft boxes, and set up the tripod, and set up cameras. Which at the end of the day were just iPhones, basically. Like everything's just done on the cheap, and and I've just tried to make it better over time, like black out the background and hang curtains over the doors, and just try to like get slightly better over time and improve my audio and improve the video quality. But at this point, I'm pretty happy with how all of that goes.
It looks great.
Part. Thank you.
And I mean, like, if it's easier for you and it works, then why not? Like,
it needs to be.
Why do, like, if you're messing around trying to sync up audio to like 2 or 3 cameras, that's a whole other game right there.
Yeah, even when I do multicam these days, usually I just pull out a second webcam and then record it all in vMix, and just so it's like just done real time. There's no like syncing anything. It's like I'll position the second screen and just kind of make it happen. And I just need everything to be streamlined and quick, just because I'm starting at 8 or 9, PM.
Right.
So I don't want to mess around.
No, for sure. Let's do one more add to this wheel before we start picking the cents. So how many do you want to add this time?
Add 2, take away 1.
Okay, we're adding 2 and taking away 1. So how many guitars do you own?
That's an embarrassing question.
Is it embarrassing or is it awesome? It depends.
No, it's
Anna Marie.
Add
2, take away 1.
I don't know. I think about 15.
That's a big collection, but like not insane.
No, I guess. But I mean, you don't need that many. I guess my problem is, though, that I do use like such a wide range of tunings. That's still a bad excuse. Like I could get by with probably 6 guitars or 5, but it's like I need something, I can float a semitone or 2. I don't have a double neck guitar. No, actually. I do have like a 12-string guitar. But I have to float tuning so much, and sometimes like I prefer a certain pickup selection or a pickup combination over another, and so I've made excuses in my head as to why I don't need to sell any of them, basically. But I try not to buy. I try not to buy too much. Like I've tried to. The last big purchase I made was this Gen 1 Sun Model T back there, and that's the last purchase I made that was really. And I tried to buy. I could just sense that the prices were going through the roof, and just found one that was super nice and just got it. But
that makes sense. Rob thinks it would be a lot cooler if you did have the double neck guitar.
I think so too. I would get one. I mean, they're pretty cool. There have been a couple times where I've been tempted, but usually they're big bucks too.
And they're heavy.
And they're super heavy.
Like,
yeah.
Super heavy. So how many of those guitars that you own are SGs?
Cool.
That was the question, because I've seen a decent amount on your channel, and I'm like, does he own all those, or are those ones he's borrowing from other people? Because there's been a few for sure.
No, I have 5 SGs.
5 SGs, okay.
But I mean, I've had so many SGs in my life, different, I remember like my wife just being like, all your guitars look the same. Like, you just basically have a bunch of the same guitar, which is still
different
true
colors
to a point. They are. I'm big into like the old like first act double cut guitars that like Pike used in High on Fire and Brent and Bill used in Mastodon and stuff. And so I've got a few of those that I've collected, and then I've got an old '91 Les Paul and just some other miscellaneous stuff that I've collected over the years and found excuses not to sell.
Hey, that's okay. I totally get that, man.
How many guitars do you have?
I have 3 currently. Well, not
What do you
including
got?
acoustics.
What do you
So
got? Well,
if
and
you-
I included my acoustics in my 15. I would
Okay,
have-
so then, let's see, six.
See?
6 in our house. Yeah, my wife's got a
There you
few
go, that's-
acoustics.
You got 6 guitars.
Yeah,
If you play guitar, it's just they're fun to have and collect. And
it's the worst, man. It's like you're always on the hunt.
yeah,
So
I've tried to
it's-
calm down on all that, and I feel like I have a decent amount. Like I'm not scouring reverb all the time, and like I just try to back off.
Yeah, it's hard too when it's like it's so accessible now. Like,
Well, anything you
can
want,
find
you
a
just-
good, yeah. You can find a used one on Reverb, no problem. You're like, I want it. You can easily find it.
I almost can't think of the last time I went into a guitar shop and bought like anything, like anything substantial.
Yeah, I definitely like for me, it's always used. I don't typically buy new. It's yeah.
When it comes
I-
to guitars,
Yeah.
like pedals and stuff, if it's coming from a boutique builder that I'm really into and stuff like that,
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
buy. I'll definitely buy to support the builder. But if it's a guitar, it's rarely coming to me new.
Yeah, guitar is always used. Yeah, pedals for sure, definitely. Yeah. And like sometimes amps, but
And I buy my share of used pedals, but most of my amps are used and vintage, and for the most part, like that Mad amp, the green one behind me, I bought new from Mad amp.
nice. Those are
But
those
again,
are awesome
they're
amps,
hard
too.
to get. Like it's hard to find a used one, and you almost pay the same price. So it's like, why not just get a new one?
Yeah, and good luck finding one of those in Canada.
I'm sure. I mean, they're not very common here. They have become more common over the past 2 years or so, but I'm sure in Canada they're really hard to get.
Yeah, for sure. So before we started, we totally forgot. How many cents do we want in the bottle tonight? And how many do they have to keep?
So help me with that. How many cents should I? What's like a typical
so
range?
typically we like spin 5.
Okay.
We'll spin 5 cents, and then they'll keep any. Like it depends. The guests will sometimes say they have to keep all of them. Sometimes it's like 3.
Let's spin 5 and keep 3. I mean, I think that's going to come up with something good.
Okay, for sure. And then like if they want more, they can add all of them if they want. Like that's cool, but you have to keep at least 3.
Okay.
That's the minimum. Just so it's interesting. All right. So let's spin cent number 1 here while we're chatting. Do you have a favorite guitar?
I do.
What's your favorite?
Hang on.
Oh, look at Tanya's got a decent collection too. She's got 5 guitars, a bass, 2 ukuleles, a mando, and an accordion.
That's a great collection.
That's a great collection.
This is my favorite
Hold
guitar.
on, let's throw you up big here. There we go.
This is my this is that one of those first act custom shop double cuts I was telling you about, like Pike played in High on Fire, kind of in the mid to late 2000s, and it was obviously the first act custom or first act brand in general. For anybody who's familiar with guitars will know it was kind of a Walmart brand, but as this marketing vessel, they had this really badass custom shop in Boston that had this like multi-million-dollar budget and would just kind of build these one-off instruments. And a big part of their marketing was to get them in the hands of like underground kind of metal and hardcore bands of the time, and some stoner rock and doom stuff. And so after the shop closed, I had wanted one of these so bad, and they were impossible to find, though they still are. Like I've hunted them for over 10 years, and I've maybe seen 15 come up for sale. But this one, I was able to kind of contact one of the luthiers who worked at the shop, and he had 2 of them sitting in the back unfinished, and said he would finish them out for me. So
No way.
I had both of them, but that I've had this one kind of beat it up, played the shit out of it. But it's just it's my favorite guitar of all time, And yeah, it's just it's a badass instrument. So that's my first act custom shop double cut. I guess it's technically the last one ever made because, or I had the last two ever made, and I sold the other one just because it just wasn't cool. It wasn't it was like almost like the difference between a Les Paul standard and a special. Like the other one was thinner and lighter and just not quite as cool. So this is it. This is the one. It's a bad.
That's the one.
That's
the desert island guitar right there.
They're just super rare. Like I said, I've got a few of them, and I've had a bunch of them, and they're just and by a bunch, like I buy almost every one that I've ever seen, or at least if I've seen 15, I've bought like 5 or 6. So, yeah, cool guitar.
Yeah, that's cool. It's in like decent shape too, for sure. And Blackberry Sage is the scent that came up there.
I've played it a lot. I mean, if you look up close, it's all dinged and beat, but it's not that bad. I mean, a good guitar usually ends up looking beat. Like the good ones always get played.
Yes, that's very true. Oh, Mike went and counted. Here we go. Mike's got 7 guitars, 1 bass, and 3 ukuleles. That's
nice,
a lot of ukuleles.
Mike. What's your favorite, Mike?
And Tanya too. Do you have a favorite? She's got.
Yeah, Tanya had to.
I
want to know the favorites of whoever put up their collections.
For sure. Yeah. Now Tanya's like plays like all the instruments, but she like primarily like played bass for years and years and years, but she also plays guitar and every other
bass
instrument.
Is awesome. I love bass. It's hard for me to go between the two.
Yeah, I don't consider myself a good bass player. Like I can play the basic stuff, but I'm not doing anything fancy.
Same. I don't play it enough, and when I have tried over the years to like dedicate time to it, I feel like I just get really shitty at guitar.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the favorite one, eh? That's cool. I would probably like that too if it was from like my first band for sure. So first scent we spun was Blackberry Sage. We'll spin the second one here. So how long have you guys been doing the pedals for? It's been like a year or two?
We started the pedal line in we sold the first batch in November, so we probably started. We started several months before that, and
right,
probably 5 months or so before that. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, this next run of Fuzz Coven is only the second time we've done Fuzz Coven, and the other two have seen two runs so far. So, but we're all set up now. I mean, it was just some growing pains and knowing like waiting on parts and ordering parts from all over the world to get in to kind of assemble the circuits. And having to get order enclosures, and we do basically everything here in Charlotte. So we order the parts, we spec all the parts and bring them all in, and then we build our circuits here. We get the enclosures just raw, and we machine them here, and then we take them to a powder facility here, and we have them powder coated, and then we take them to a different spot in the city to have the artwork printed on them using an ultraviolet UV printer, and then we do all of the assembly then back up in Mooresville. So, and then we pack them up and we ship them out from here. So it's all kind of done in-house, and there was just a learning process associated with that. But I feel like we are firing on all cylinders now and kind of ready to just pump them out. And we have a better idea of how much we've got to order in terms of quantity and how early we've got to order to get it here. And a lot of the COVID delays have slowed down a bit. So so we can get stuff, like there was some decent delays in there.
There was at the very, even like a few months into everything, there was a lot of delays for me as well. Like getting things I needed took forever. Oz's is his Zach Wild Orange Buzzsaw Les Paul.
Nice.
That's his favorite guitar. Badass. That's what that is. So, all right, so we've got Blackberry Sage and then Orange Bitter. That's a good start to this bottle. Actually, that Blackberry Sage might be one of my favorite scents right now. All right. You want to spin another one? We'll do number 3 here. Here we go. All right, set 3 for this bottle. What are we gonna get? Oh, this scent's gonna be sweet, guys. Dr. Pepper.
All right.
All right. Okay, so Blackberry Sage, Orange Bitter, and Dr. Pepper. What do you think of this so far, Steve?
It's awesome. It's a great.
It's gonna be that's gonna be a sweet one. All right. So for where you see kind of like the channel going like next, like what do you have any, like, I know obviously you're doing some more pedals and stuff, but with your channel, are you gonna continue like doing all the Doom content, or do you see yourself doing anything else?
Well, there has. I keep talking about it, and I talked about how much I like blues and earlier, and playing blues guitar is actually one of my favorite kind of guitar to play, or style of guitar. And there's been a decent amount of interest from people whenever I bring it up. It's like I threaten to do some blues lessons or something, I say that jokingly, but like I actually did like spend. I talked about it maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I did like. I started to dive into actually putting together a lesson in minor blues and Chicago style minor blues, and ended up writing like this massive guide, like a massive PDF guide about it. And so now I just have to like hunker down and start shooting videos. But I think it's going to end up being a video series. And that's something that's maybe different. And I still haven't decided if I'm going to do it as Does It Doom, or just a separate course or something. But that's been something that's on my mind. And so as far as the channel goes, it's just going to be a lot of lessons. Like I've really focused in on lessons this year, and continuing to do song lessons, but I've also sprinkled in some more theory and technique style lessons, just some more general content for people who are getting started, or just trying to answer general questions. Because a lot of, like, I'm self-taught, but I have spent a lot of time reading lots of books and learning at least enough theory to be kind of dangerous, Like, I don't know complete music theory by any means, but I know enough for this genre. And so a lot of people ask me about that stuff. And so I'm trying to I did a big lesson on intervals and just trying to teach people a little bit of that side of things, because there is some general interest. And I think if it's presented from someone who's presenting it to the people who are interested in the genre, so it's like we're not starting with the major scale and a bunch of stuff that's not going to be relevant, hopefully that's helpful to people. But we've got the big Patreon membership, and that's been growing, and that's for people who want to kind of dive deeper, and we transcribe every lesson that we do, and we have a bunch of bonus lessons over there, where every month I'm releasing like new tabs and such that are like kind of, I'll say like tabs that may eventually become a lesson video for the channel, but not yet. So there's a bunch of bonus tabs. I mean, I think we're almost up to like 80 fully like Guitar Pro style transcribed lessons over there. And then we've got like additional guides and scale guides and theory guides. And I even do one-on-one lessons over there now, kind of via Skype sort of, or Zoom sort of thing. So I've been doing a lot of that as well, but just more continuing to produce more and more lessons. And like I said, just trying to get better all the time, and hopefully continue to provide value for everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, I was totally going to ask you that. Like you do Skype lessons as well.
Yeah, and that's something I just have started into, and I've kind of made it part of the annual membership. Like for people who sign up for a full year at the top tier over on the membership, we do like a video lesson. And then, I haven't been taking on, it's just time management, right? Like trying to, because as I've said, all this song learning and lesson production and everything for me goes on at night. And so I don't have that many hours per month to give up to do one-on-one stuff, but I get asked about it a lot. So I've tried to put together something that can be cool for people who want to sit down one-on-one and kind of talk through their issues and ask me those questions that they'd like to have answered. And then, of course, at the same time, they get like a full year's membership over on Patreon. So,
Man, that's super cool. That's a really cool idea. I think that there's like a lot, especially right now, because like there's not that much in-person learning. Like it's a great thing to offer for sure. Especially people that are already like the fans of the channel, right? Like that'd be super cool.
It's been fun for sure.
Let's spin number 4 here while we're talking. So guitar pedals, top 5 guitar pedals that you have, and you can't pick your own. You gotta pick other ones.
My favorite dirt pedal is is the old Proco Rat.
Okay,
probably. So like a Proco Rat 2 is one of my favorites. I do love like the Sun Life pedal. I think that's killer, which is essentially a Rat with an octave and a boost built in. I think.
That's interesting.
It's a pretty. I mean, those things. There was just so much hype surrounding that pedal, and it really. I think it sounds awesome. The Boss FC2 Hyper Fuzz is probably one of my favorite dirt pedals. I really love in terms of delays, the Fuzzler Darkmaster is something I've been using for a while now. Which is one of my favorites.
What makes that one different, like in terms of a delay? Is it digital or analog? Or
it's analog. It's an analog delay, and it's based on like the old Echo, like the Roland tape Echo stuff, and the Boss RE. What is it? RE20 Space Echo. And it's based on that circuit, but he's made it darker sounding and added a boost, so there's no like volume drop when you engage it. You can kind of tweak the boost so you don't lose any volume, and it's dark sounding and just a really cool delay. Ever since I got it, it's been the only delay I use.
Nice.
And so what's that? 4? I don't know. I go through different reverbs. I wouldn't say I've settled in on a favorite reverb. Right now I've got a Holy Grail Max on my board.
Cool.
But yeah, that's I like your standard Russian big muffs and all that stuff. But
nice.
But
I think that's like a staple for anyone that's into like any rock, but like especially if you're into stoner rock or doom or any of that stuff, for sure you have a big muff at some point.
Yeah, you got to.
I know, but one of my favorite fuzzes that I've played in the last little while was I got one of those Pharaoh Fuzz Supremes from Black Art Toneworks.
Yeah.
That pedal's super rad.
Yeah. So I've got the Matt Pike Rabid Mammal that
nice.
Matt did, and Matt, half of that pedal is a Pharaoh Supreme, and the other half is their like Witch Burner, and it's a great sounding pedal. Really is. The pedal he did for Matt, and he did that Raw Heart for Mike and Yob, and that's a killer sounding pedal too. Like those guys, I don't know what the development process was like between all that deal. Just knowing how long our development processes can go. I don't know, but those pedals both came out sounding amazing.
Yeah, they're making some good stuff for sure. I gotta get yours once it comes out. Once this batch, I missed that when you first released them. I missed it. It sold out quick.
They did.
Like was that like a day, 2 days?
Probably on the Hyper Coven and the Fuzz Coven were gone within 24 hours.
Yeah, I remember like seeing your post and being like, "Oh, I'm gonna grab that after work or something." And then I went on after work and I was like, "I'm so sad right now."
They went and the boost took maybe a week or so, and even this round of boost was like this round of Hyper Coven we made a fuck ton, and they were gone in 24 hours again. And the boost, I think we've got about 10 left, and we made a ton. And then so the Fuzz Coven, again, I'm getting a lot of messages about it and stuff. So, everybody likes dirt, It's like, I think the Hyper Coven itself is pretty original. Like, there's nothing quite like it. And that was like that first idea, like, let's make an analog octave with a blend. Like, it works for the genre really well. Like, some dude posted this clip on TikTok today, just using that pedal and just blew my face off. I was just like, that's just the greatest drone tone I've ever fucking heard. And he was using it like through a frost giant massive silicon fuzz and like an earthquake or afterneath through an orange rock reverb or something. It's just like this amazing, just like drone tone. So there's nothing quite like it, and so that one sold real quick. And then people just like dirt pedals, and the Fuzz Coven is a killer sounding silicon fuzz. So for like that modern, like Conan style, it works better the lower your tune and just sounds like big and kind of bass and low mid heavy. And then like cleans up real good as you roll off your volume too. So and that thing sounds awesome in a drone context too.
Awesome. All right. I think we should spin this next scent here. Go. Okay. So let's just recap where we're at. We've got Blackberry Sage. We've got Orange Bitter and Nag Champa, which is an interesting combo right there. All right. Let's spin again. Let's see what we get. Here, I'll bring it up a little bigger. You don't have to like sit right in front of the screen there.
It's good for everybody else.
Tanya, I have your video on my phone. I need to upload it to my computer. I'm sorry. I will though. Oh, I'm gonna hide that one because we already did that. All right, spin again. All right. Oh, come on, mystery. Yeah, that's my favorite.
I want to know, Tyler, what's the most popular scent for you at Woolly Wizard right now? What's like the
caramel pipe tobacco is probably the most that's the most popular scent for sure.
I put that in this morning again. I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, that one. It's just like it's a good solid scent, and a lot of people. I
wasn't sure if I was gonna like the tobacco scent or not, and you said that to me when I was asking about it. But you said a lot of people do like it, and because I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, and I got it, and I really do. It's great.
Yeah. So that one for sure, and then before that, it was by far like that Fruit Loop scent when that came out. The Mystic Rings was like
a great name for it too, man. Great name.
Trying to play on that whole wizard thing.
Yeah, I love it. So cool. I love it. All the names. Your names are so good. The Druid. What'd you call that one?
Grove.
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, man, the product is just fucking badass. It's so good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so that one, the Druid's Grove, that one's been selling.
I meant to show you, I still have this original.
That's like from the early days.
Yeah. This is it's like there's
what scent is that?
This is Spiced Brew.
Oh, okay.
This was from the original few that I got from you.
So when we first actually talked, because I went up, because I was like, when did I first talk to you?
Yeah,
and I first talked to you literally 2 years ago to the day, like if it was tomorrow, like the 23rd.
Really?
of April. Yeah, it was like the exact 2-year mark. Which I thought was like pretty unreal. I was like, oh, that's a coincidence that now you're on the show like 2 years later. But yeah,
I was wondering if you still made like the black background or if that's like
no,
retired
it's gone.
Because everything is,
Yeah, so like out of like, because I have it in some like local barber shops here. Yeah. And having the black background on every one it's too hard to tell the scents apart. So then I started with colors, and then I started incorporating more graphic into the background, and now that's just on everything.
It couldn't be cooler. It couldn't be any cooler. I'm serious. Like, it's just looks amazing. They all smell amazing. Like the whole thing. I can't get over how awesome it is. So good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
The evolution's amazing. Like that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. If you like scroll to the early part of the Instagram, you'll see like the old silver tins before I used like black tins. Yeah, it's wild, amazing. Man. When I first started doing it, I didn't know what it would how it would grow, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's super cool. I love it.
Great. That's great.
And then this show has just been like the most fun part of like the whole thing is just doing this
I
because
can
it's
tell
like
it's awesome.
every week I get to make a new scent, which is really fun, and then someone gets to try it, so I get to like see their response, especially when it's really weird. So yeah, man, I love it.
It's cool, man. It's great.
All right, let's spin the last scent for this bottle. So Blackberry Sage, Orange Bitter, Nag Champa, and then a mystery scent. And here we go. So we said they have to keep at least 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh. Oudwood's a good one. Yep, that's good. Well, you guys could make like a similar scent to a couple of weeks ago, or you can go a different way, depending on what you want. All right, if this was your scent, you had to keep at least 3. What would you keep out of that? So we have Blackberry Sage, Orange Bitter, Nag Champa, and Mystery and Oudwood.
Blackberry Sage, Oudwood, and give me a mystery.
Yeah. That would be a good combo, for sure. All right, I think we should spin the winner. What do you think?
Yep.
All right. Okay, guys, here we go. This is the moment you were all waiting for all night. We just kept you here for a good hour.
Mike Gray
Just
wants
for
some
this
Conjurer.
moment. Oh, Dr. Pepper? Did I miss Dr. Pepper?
No. I said Mike Gray here said.
Oh, yeah,
skip a
he wants
Conjurer
that.
thing.
No, I
It's
think
good.
Dr. Pepper was supposed to be on that wheel. I think we might have spun 6, actually. Yep, I think we did. Oh, well, that's cool. 6, keep 3. Dr. Pepper was a scent. You're right. I just didn't type it out.
Was the Conjurer limited?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. That was good. I wanted to bring it back, but I have not. The supplier discontinued that fragrance that's in there, like one of them. And I tried to remake it and it's not the same. So I'm not. I can't put it out if it's not exactly the same. So I'm trying to figure a way to like reimagine that scent.
I got you. It smells.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Dr. Pepper's on there. All right. So we accidentally spun an extra scent. All right. So Blackberry Sage, Orange Bitter, Nag Champa, a Mystery, Oudwood, and Dr. Pepper. That's what we're dealing with. You guys got an extra one tonight. You only have to keep 3. So, all right. Let's spin the winner. Everyone's on the wheel, right? Actually, I'll put that up nice and big for you. Yeah, that's right, Mike. I got you hooked on it. And now withdrawals.
That's awesome.
Is everybody up on the wheel? Yeah, I know. I messed up. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mrs. Mick. I'm gonna assume we're all good. There's like a bit of the StreamYard delay, you know? So you don't see the chat for like a minute.
Yeah.
I love it, Tanya. Okay. So everyone's up. I'm not seeing anything. Okay, let's spin the winner. Here we go. Ooh. Almost, Kyle. Almost. Congratulations, Oz. You just got to tell us what you want in that thing.
Congrats.
Yeah, that would be a good one. You got that extra one to choose from now. I know that everyone's natural tendency is to just keep them all just because you guys are all crazy. But in this one, you might want to cut something out. It might get a little muddy. You got some strong sense in there. The Dr. Pepper has a lot of power. It's like it will kind of dominate a little bit. But the Blackberry Sage is also kind of dominant. So, Dave's saying let it ride and do all 6. Kyle, that was so close to your name, man. So close. Yeah, at some point, I feel like we need to do a mashing bomb, but bomb is so much harder to do one-offs. It's like a lot more of a process. So take out Dr. Pepper. Okay. I guess, yeah, you already had a scent with Dr. Pepper and Nog Chomp in it. So, yeah, I would take that out, too. All right. Cool. I'm just adding that to my notes so I don't forget. All right. So, now we have the fun part, too. We've got a bonus round. So, in the bonus round, last week, Mick won. There's like this one spot on here that's create the next scent. So you get to work with me and create the next Woolly Wizard scent. So Mick, like socially bearded on here, actually won that. And yeah, we're working on that one now. Been going back and forth all week. So that the one when it's create the next scent, you actually get to like, we're doing like the full label, like it will be sold on the site, like the whole 9 yards. So that's a super cool one. So everyone's always hoping for that to come up.
I bet.
All right, guys, here we go. Take Nog Chomp. Oh, we're taking Nog Chomp out to us. Yep, that's cool. What we got tonight? Oh, free patch tonight.
Nice.
All right, and if you guys have the patch or you want to pass it on to someone, that's cool too. Yeah, you've got one. I think most of the people here might have one, actually. But that's cool. All right. All right, guys, here we go. Yeah, I know. Well, I have to work with Mick. That's gonna be a fun one. Oh, no way! You won the patch.
Amazing. Well, let's spin it again. Give it to some. I already have a patch. Can you do a respin?
Yeah, for sure. We can do that. I think we might be in that boat with all these people, because all of these everyone's played for like, it's been 6 months, and these guys come out every single week, which is amazing.
Awesome, that's fun.
Dave, all right.
Dave, you have a patch or no patch?
No, he's got a patch. I think everyone has a patch, but you guys can give it away to someone. Dave,
there we go. Take
it and then give it away to someone that you see when we're allowed to see people. Because that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, that's
so
nice. Kyle just got a hat for his patch. It's begging to go on a hat, really.
Yeah, or a vest.
Yeah,
a very good like metal vest.
Yep, absolutely.
Denim jacket. For sure. All right, so I guess before we end here, do you want? Is there anything else that you want to cover, or that's coming up next for you on your channel?
No, I mean, just everybody here, check us out. Does It Doom? We're Does It Doom on every platform: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I got a podcast. Wherever you can go at Does It Doom, you'll find me, and let's learn some guitar.
Awesome, man. That's great. I did not know you have a TikTok, so I'm gonna be grabbing that one too.
You get
'Cause
on.
that'll be it. That's always entertaining.
It's a fun platform, isn't it?
Stickers.
I try there.
Yeah.
I've gone hard and then not, and then it still feels a little foreign.
It's hard to cover all of the platforms and maintain them all.
It is for sure. Like I have never gone real hard on Twitter.
No.
Well, I'm not into that platform very much.
I have an account on there. I rarely use it. I probably should, but
I post
I don't.
I'll put out my lessons there. I don't know if anybody looks or
Yeah, it's not something I follow.
No, me neither.
Sure.
It's like a bunch of it's too much. Like they always say, it's like the internet's cocktail party or whatever.
Yeah,
a cocktail party's not really my thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's not somewhere. It's a lot of like negativity and hate on there.
Absolutely.
A lot of hate comments, and I don't know. I see enough of that around. I don't want to be reading that anymore.
Agreed, man.
I'd rather keep it positive.
Yeah,
It's all about fun.
agreed.
All right, awesome. All right, so that's it for this week. Thank you guys all for coming out. Steve, thank you so much for
having me.
For coming on the show. This is awesome. It was a good time. It was nice hearing about your channel and like everything you've got going on. It's a super cool story. I'll see all of you guys again next week at 9:30 p.m. on Thursday. And I'm actually going to be on Mix Stream, so Socially Bearded, on Saturday as well. So if you guys don't have anything to do, come on, check that out. It's at Mick. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So if not, you guys will all see the posts. It'll be up there. So until next time, you guys have a great week, and I will see you next Thursday. And Kyle's got some more Bag Milk content, and we've got an awesome video from Tanya next week too. So
Awesome.
Have a good night, guys.
Take care.
See you
everybody.
next week.
Thanks, Tyler.